Hello Exiles, this is BEG with another PoE2 video, and I have been leveling up other characters, finally getting off my monk a little bit. I wanted to try stat stacking Gemling Legionnaire, so I'm doing that. And in the process, as always, I've been trying different strategies, new strategies, and one of the ones that interested me the most was adding additional modifiers onto maps. So in Path of Exile 1, you would take the map modifiers, and as many as you had, each one would individually have some sort of effect that it would add onto the map, and then you would get an associated amount of pack size, item quantity, and item rarity on top of that. So most of the time you were basically making your map more difficult while at the same time adding more rewards. Path of Exile 2 works a little differently, however. You instead have your prefixes and suffixes, so you can have maps such as this one that has all prefixes, which are all positive things. You can have just the opposite, of course, which is going to be all negative modifiers. I'm sure I probably have one here somewhere. There you go. All negative modifiers, and of course you do get Waystone drop chance for the suffixes or the negative modifiers. However, for the most part, you're not necessarily getting a huge bonus for each individual prefix or suffix that you put on your map. So, the maps that I chose to do, I just took a little area here. It wasn't too big, it was just an area that I had some empty towers on, and I did 6 additional modifiers. In some cases I still have 4 additional modifiers, which I will run here shortly just to give a demonstration, but I wanted to share what I learned. So the modifiers added are not scaled with your Waystone tablet effect. So the 40% here you would expect with 5 additional modifiers to your map. With the 40% you get from tablet effect, you would go up to 7. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. It doesn't seem to be scalable, and it also doesn't seem to be able to take advantage of remnants of power. So those are 2 things to keep in mind. Basically, your Waystone effect is only going to have an effect on the prefix, which, you know, prefixes are still going to be pretty good. You can get quantity and that kind of thing. Quantity, rarity, rare monsters, whatever it might be. I didn't get very good tablets because I just wanted to see what it was like, and so I had a little bit of a mishmash of everything. I had to buy a couple as well. I just bought a couple of quantity ones, and the outcome was interesting. So it does seem to be truly random. It doesn't seem to benefit, or it doesn't seem to necessarily add prefixes and suffixes evenly, and it does seem to also have an interesting effect. One of the things I wanted to see is if it would go with Grueling Journey, as in adding the additional explicit or additional modifiers would scale your other modifiers. Now, it was difficult to tell exactly if that worked. It did seem like they were higher, but I was unsure. But the one thing to note is that all of your modifier effect, all of your actual Waystone modifier effect is not impacted at all by the modifiers that are added. So when you have that, for instance, if you have, let's say, a one like this, and I were to get rarity added on, it would just be whatever the rarity roll could be. So for instance, if I got this kind of mod that was on here, 68% rarity, that rarity would be added on. The 20% would be impacted by my Waystone effect, but the additional 68% would not. This can be a really bad thing, of course, because you do want those positive ones to scale, but it can actually be quite good too, specifically for things such as reduced recovery. You get 60% reduced recovery, and if you scale that with Waystone effect, it's going to go over 100%. You're not going to have any recovery, and that can brick your build. However, with this, if you go with a map that doesn't have that on it already, if it gets added, you'll still have 40% of your recovery, and if you're strong enough, that's going to be enough to keep you in the map. So it can actually stop you from bricking your maps by getting those negative ones. And the ones that are really dangerous, such as lower max res or penetration, they are going to be much lower numbers than if you ran those on the map already, if you had a map that already had those added onto them. So it makes maps much more accomplishable. And the number one strategy that I found was helpful was to just go in with an all prefix map, because there are less prefixes in the pool, so statistically you're more likely to get more suffixes. However, since it does seem to be random, it's possible you'll just get all prefixes or an equal split, like 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes if you run 4 additional modifiers. And I think that that could provide some sort of benefit. The big benefit is if you have things like a hybrid rarity and quantity roll, for instance, like I have here, or like a hybrid magic monster rare monster roll. You could potentially get rare monsters, or you could potentially get rarity, or if you have a high rarity or a high rare monsters roll, you could get the hybrid to add on top of that, and that can kind of compound that advantage. Is it going to be better than other strategies? I actually don't think so, which is why, otherwise I would be singing the praises of this, and I probably would have titled the video quite differently. But yeah, I'm going to just throw this on here. So as you can see, it's not a lot of quantity or anything. It's a little bit of a mishmash. I even have some gold find in this. I just threw the tablets I already had for the most part. I'm just going to do a little bit of a demonstration on this map here, and we will see what the outcome is going to end up being here. I should actually quickly, before I do that, make a little bit of a change to my Atlas passive tree. I did this mostly focusing on leveling, so I haven't been taking this, so I'm just going to get rid of all this pack size real quick, and I will grab Grueling Journey so we can take a look at that. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead, pop in this map. This character is still a little bit new, so I am not 100% sure what kind of modifiers are really going to mess me up here, but we'll take a look. Okay, so looks like I did not get a rarity roll, unfortunately, but 222% magic monsters, so I do believe that the effect, because I had 113 or something like that on there already, and I had a little bit on my Waystone, so I think Grueling Journey actually does get impacted by the additional modifiers, because I haven't done the exact math, but that does seem like a pretty significant jump in that case. 76% rare monsters, and then I got some negative ones. I got 40% extra cold damage. I got poison on hit, monsters have increased accuracy, and you can see I didn't get any additional modifiers, but got some pack size, it looks like maybe 2. So got kind of a mix of positive and negative, and yeah, I'm just gonna run through here. We'll see what we get. Shouldn't be too good. I don't have a lot. I think I have 25% rarity on this. I get a little bit of lag on Delirium, especially while I'm recording, unfortunately, which is why I don't do too many demo maps anymore. But I think it's worth at least kind of showing what kind of maps you can be looking at here. If you get a better setup with higher quantity, you can get much better, of course. Oops. Alright. Got a speed shrine, that'll be nice. Nope, got a bugged out rare here. There you go. Yeah, something was going on with that. Alright. Yeah, stat stackers are really powerful, of course. I wanted to decide whether or not I wanted to get an Astramentus while doing this. I might do so. I don't know if I'll need it. This seems plenty strong enough. The reason I decided to go for it is because I made a really powerful breach ring, and that made me want to do it. I have this right here, which has over 40 of all of the attributes. Definitely, and combined with ingenuity, I basically almost have Astramentus on a ring, which is pretty crazy. So even without Astromentus, over 400 all attributes. And I don't have any attributes on like my helmet. I'm missing some on some of my gear. So okay. But yeah, the loot quality for this isn't going to be super good because I don't have a lot of rarity on my character, so there are going to be a lot of low value currency that doesn't get converted just yet. I probably didn't hit the threshold. I'm also only running 21% Delirious, so I'm not getting a lot of bonus from that either. I just was making a lot of pack size maps because of... oh yeah, that's another thing that I should note. Another important note on this is that what you put on by your emotions, your annoyance, those seem to scale with Waystone effect. I first noticed this with specifically the uniques have a chance for an additional modifier, which you can get up to 3 on. I had one that had 3 and I put it in and I got 6. So all unique monsters had 6 additional modifiers, and you can't get that through a regular roll. That can only be gotten as an implicit through your annoyance. So that is an interesting thing to note here. So if you're scaling up Waystone effect, that will scale up your implicits you get through annoyance. Very useful information to have. Can kind of help you figure out what annoyance you want to put on your maps based on what you're missing. For instance, if you already have a very large rare monster roll, you might want to, and you don't have any rarity, you might want to put some rarity mods on there. Scale those up a little bit. And vice versa, of course. If you already have a very large rarity roll, probably works a lot better in the opposite direction, because proportionate to the amount that you can roll on the map itself, you will actually get better outcomes with having rarity on the map and then putting rare monsters as an implicit as compared to the opposite. Just proportionately much better. So, and of course that's been pretty common practice since the game started, but in case you were unaware. Oh yeah, I'm not immune to chaos damage on this character, and in fact I kind of struggled to hit a decent amount. I'm only at 56 still, because I had to pick a very high elemental resistance rings in order to get everything set there. Had to get a new helmet, kind of pick things up. Okay, so 3 more, kind of all in these little spaces. This is one of the bad things about Hidden Grotto, is that you have all these little kind of nooks and crannies that monsters can hide in. I wonder if it wouldn't be faster to just go to the checkpoint here. Probably. Alright, take a little shortcut. Oop. Head over here. And then I should be able to kill this, and then take a shortcut to the checkpoint on the bottom side and hit that last one. Yeah, so loot, not fantastic, and of course no breach on this map, so that's gonna contribute to that as well. Had I scaled quantity and went in with this in a map, or with a map that already had very high rarity, possibly a much better outcome. But yeah, that's pretty much the rub of it. Oh, I guess I should point out I should go back in here really quick, and in case you didn't notice, the things that were added, it's kind of hard to tell. With certain mods, it's a lot easier to tell, but the 40% damage is extra cold, probably not scaled up. What was the other negative one? Oh, 50% accuracy. This one's always the same, so this one's the easiest to tell. So this would normally be scaled up to like 97% or something with my Waystone stuff, or at least like 80, because I guess I'm running a little bit less on my current tree. But it is 50%, the default 50%. I think poison is always the same as well. So that's kind of the proof that the mods are not scaled by your Waystone effect, as compared to the ones that are already on the map. So little bit of interesting stuff there. Okay, so with all that in mind, that is pretty much all I wanted to show. Hope you enjoyed. I don't have anything for the build yet because I'm not done figuring it out. So But maybe I'll do something on this, although Gemini Legionnaire stat stackers have been pretty commonplace, a little overdone. I just hadn't tried it yet. Hope you enjoyed. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.